Yeah, what's up, people? It's your boy, Mr. Drew, and you're listening to GN Radio. Don't touch that dial, silly.
Dear girls, do a likoto. Nami bubo beating tinto. Oh. Not a fair. A day out of fair. For a kuma no mame. Yeah, what up, it's your boy KRYMI Cream, it's your boy Cream right now, and you're listening to GN Radio, Charlie the best, don't touch the dial.
What's up, man? Say me by UK, me TGN Radio. Forget every other station. EB family, Charlie, yeah. We are more than I. Okama Sempa Martini na GN Radio. Forget everyone, Moana Moko.
You are friend Eve. I want this on the have one. I walk up, Missing Pinyan Damara. I brought full of friends, Neko. Fancy full of friend or walk. And now full of friend or nothing. Smart full of friend or wallet.
Alright, young Tello, and I am blue. Young confused, and I am writing. I make a some to museum, so yeah, TGN. Indeed, on a web or obey entertaining, obey kitty, obey what I'm with my puzzle. If I shall keep to listen, Indeed. Fire.
Again, a minute that I am Sunday, Papa. Mocha say, not a wire, old man. Or did you run on the man's Russians? Mocha said, whoa. Why old man, bruh? Yes. If you get your baby dear, if you ever your dog papa, if you ever your dog papa, I'll call the
You are listening to How Do You Do Your Business with Kenji.
On your minute, head up on your minute, Sunday, be a bear, you got run everywhere, and we're doing that.
Work and happiness.
You will give your best. We will give our best to beautiful Ghana. Work and happiness. Yes, I must confess. It will bring success for beautiful Ghana. United farmers and workers of Africa.
You are listening to How Do You Do Your Business with Kenji.
Wherever you are, work and happiness. Yes, I must confess, all must give their best for beautiful Ghana. United farmers and workers of Africa, God will bless you wherever you are. Work and happiness, yes, I must confess, all must give their best for beautiful Ghana. I will give my best. You give your best. Give my best to beautiful Ghana. To beautiful Ghana. To beautiful Ghana.
I will give my best. You will give your best to the beautiful country that you live in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Wherever in this world that you are and listening to the sound of my voice on radio and also watching me live on Facebook. How are you doing this morning? I believe you are doing fine. I am doing well as well. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. So today, I told you last week that we are going to have a chat with the nurse, and she is all ready to talk to us. But before then, I would love to say a big thank you to Ras Ebo, who was on the show last week. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon. So, today's topic is very interesting. We are going to talk about sickle cell. How is it inherited? So I want you to stay tuned as you listen to this music or song, and getting my guests ready to come on, and we will have a chat. The big chat indeed. I am going to learn a lot, and I believe you also learn a lot. So go nowhere. Stay tuned.
Soda Gurusam Yabeya do Papa Emma Ifuka Damara Akadamara Opi Damita to the corner Opi Damita no to the corner What you can turn what you call Lord Ebe Wally Chubi If I know how to see can I catch it Yabanasi If you have to one as you can do, all about them. If you wish you not for Como, I'm going to then away. If you have a no damara, one year soon went to so no go food amara ebe e wo mo bra bra to kokoko no go food ya me done de no go food papa Watch your no one shot in the aba. A big one shot no. I said, okay, then. A property was brown, papa. And you have a bit of another bit of papa. And you have no one in the me. I'm a Macumetriano. Oh.
Thank you for staying with me. So, good morning to you, Mrs. Patricia Brown. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing this morning?
I'm very good.
Awesome.
And how are you too?
I'm good, thank you. And thank you so much for being on the show with us this morning.
And thank you so much too for having me on air today.
Awesome.
It's a pleasure to make, people have awareness as to what sickle cell is. As I speak to you, my name is Patricia Alfonso Brown. I'm a sickle cell nurse and I work in Central Middlesex Hospital.
Awesome.
Sickle cell is my area of field. I did not choose it as something that I want to do. But the funny thing is, when you're in nursing, you're always moving up the ladder. So when this opportunity came and I saw the advert as sickle cell nurse, I said to myself, what is sickle cell? Can I dive more into it? Therefore, I applied and I got the job straight away.
Awesome.
Now, something you're going in and you don't have no idea. What do? You have to strive very hard. And I just delved into it and I made my way through. And I am enjoying it as I speak to you now. And it has become a big lesson that I share with people. I educate them. I make them aware of where they are going. So hopefully this morning, some people will also pick little vibes from here to guide them as they go in life. So I'll say thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
You
and I must say, I love your introduction already.
Thank you.
You've actually shown us that when you get the opportunity, no matter how difficult it is, you need to give it a go. That opportunity might be something that you actually love. It might be a challenge in the beginning, but then in the long run, you will say, oh my goodness, I didn't even know this is going to be my specialty. So it's an eye-opener, and we love you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So before you became a nurse, is it something that you've always wanted to be a nurse, or you had a different career aspiration growing up?
As young as 23, when I was in Ghana, I was a catering matron, in the catering field. But when I came to UK, I continued with my catering profession, which wasn't bad. I enjoy doing that, you know that. However, I looked at possibilities in life. And then as you grow, I could feel the catering side was really heavy. And it demands a lot of physical actions. Looking down the line, my other parts was just like caring for people and just making people happy.
Yes.
Then someone said to me, Patricia, why don't you do nursing? I said, nursing? I said, don't talk about nursing because my auntie was a midwife. And she had always loved me to be a midwife. But then I kept saying, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to do what I want to do. But you know what? God shows you a way to go sometimes when you're growing.
Yes.
And where you will feature better.
Mm.
So when I got fed up with the catering, I said, let me try this. With encouragement from friends too. And the way they saw me, the way I am, the way I care, they said, Patricia, you do well in Nissan. With reluctancy, I went in, I got in admission, yes, to Nissan. And lo and behold, I didn't know where I was going. But like I said, the Lord guided me.
Awesome.
When I went for the interview, I decided, well, let me take a simple option to do mental health.
Another interesting topic that we will come on and talk about. Yes.
Exactly. And that didn't land me well because when I had the interview interviewer said to me, Patricia, you rather do well with general nursing. And I said, no, this is what I want to do. And then she turned around and said to me, Patricia, I'm going to register you for general nurse because you do well and you have options that when you do the general, it opens doors.
Yes.
So I said, okay, thank you. So on my way home, she called me and she said, you were very successful with your general nursing interview. So I'll register you.
Yes.
Yes, you have registered me. You have done everything, but then all my papers come and have mental health nurse. I said, so where do I go? So I went to the office again to clarify. And then they said to Patricia, you are on the adult side. Still contemplating. But I said, you know what? Sometimes God talks through people. Let me go by what this lady is doing.
Yes.
So when I spoke to my family too, they were happy. They said, give it a go because there are those. Mental health limits you. You cannot do much. It's just mental.
Yes.
So that is how I ended up doing nursing. Even though I had a profession already, which I did my catering profession in Ghana at Ho Polytechnic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Before coming to this country. So doing the nursing now, I do not regret at all. I enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Because it's like you're being with people, you're saving people. You're showing people the way to go. You're making them feel comfortable, happy. And more so, you ease their pressures by talking to them and guiding them. So this is where I am.
Lovely, 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 lovely. This is really awesome, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. So, sickle cell, what is it?
Sickle cell, it's not a word. I mean, a condition people are really aware. But when you read further or you ask questions, you know. And it is a disease and a name of group of inherited health conditions that affect the red blood cells.
Yeah.
And the most serious sickle cell disease type is called sickle cell anemia.
Yes.
And this sickle cell, you do not inherit it from anywhere apart from your parents. What happens is we all have genotypes, okay?
Yes.
And usually you may pick the abnormal hemoglobin or genotype from both parents. When you have sickle cell disease, that is where you are a full-blown sickle cell disease patient.
Yes.
Are you with me?
I am, yeah.
So sickle cell disease goes a long way. The disease will be that because your two parents have the genes, you have picked the abnormal genotype from them.
Yes.
How that happens, we don't know. But when we sit with you and we do the diagram, you see it is perfect. And it has been researched, and that is how it happens. So we are always forever picking genotypes from both parents. We look at the genotype to say AA. That is the most common one we all in this world have to have.
Yes.
But unfortunately, some people don't have the AA because they have picked the genotype from the abnormal genotype from their parents.
Yes.
Okay. So say for instance, my mother is AS. And then my father is AS as well. When you cross them over, you realize that because I have the S and my mother has S, that has S, you're definitely going to pick the abnormal one, which is the S.
Yes.
Assuming both of them have the AA genotype, when they cross over, the child born to the parents will be AA. There is no question about that.
Yeah.
And then the child is a healthy baby.
Yes.
But when the genotypes change and they cross over, you get the abnormal one. So the abnormal one will end you up as a sickle cell disease or a carrier. You understand?
Yes.
When both parents have the AS, the two abnormal hemoglobin, you are definitely bound to get the disease. We have so many variants.
Yes.
It's not just the AS, the AA. We have over thousands of variants. So your parents could be carrying AS or S or C or D or say Israel, Joseph. This we have them all. They're all variants that come up.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful of whom you marry. If you do not know your genotype, make your way to the clinic. Have the test. And the hemoglobin electrophoresis will pick up exactly what gene you have. It's not a blood test you do by the GP. So the blood that you are coming to do now, which is the hemoglobin electrophoresis, will pick it up. Sickle cell is a condition which causes a lot of pain. This is how it happens. Our bloods have to be normal. But where you have sickle cell, you have been born with a condition, you turn out to have an abnormal hemoglobin.
Yes.
This is how it happens. Blood flows through veins and arteries. And blood is supposed to be very pliable, soft, round, flexible to go through the veins. When you have the disease, it turns out to be that your blood becomes deoxygenated. That means you are losing oxygen in the blood.
That's right.
So instead of the blood to be pliable, soft, and to float through the veins, it becomes sickle. I don't know if you know what sickle is like. You have, in Ghana, we have something like a cutlass, which is turned in an oval shape. And that is how your blood turns. It turns sickle. Instead of it to be round, it turns like half moon. I would say half moon.
Half moon, yes.
Yes. So when it turns half moon, that means you have lost the oxygen in the blood. So that flow of blood will not be the same like the normal person. And for that sickle blood to go through the vein will cause you pain. Because what is it doing? It is pushing against the membrane, forcing itself to go through. When you have the normal blood, it will just flow and go, and then you are fine. So because it's not going, it's causing you excruciating pain. And I tell you, the pain that it causes can kill you outright. Sickle cell is not an easy disease.
Yeah.
And everybody should take it very serious.
Thank you. What I want to know, you've explained everything. You've explained how you acquired sickle cell. So it is true, your parents, you inherit it from your parents. So if both parents are going to have the disease, if one parent has the sickle cell gene, is it where you get the sickle cell trait? I want you to explain the bit for us.
Yes, you will get the trait if one parent has the normal AA.
Mm-hmm.
If your parent is AA, it's fine. You won't get anything. But if you have the disease, your child will be a carrier because the child is going to pick one gene off you.
Yes.
Because the parent with the AA has no problem. But the parent with the disease and the variant, that is what the child is going to pick.
Yeah.
Therefore, that will live with that child as a carrier or a trait.
Or a trait, yeah. So it's either you become a carrier or you have the traits.
Or
it's the same
carrier
thing.
Carrier and trait are the same.
The same.
If you have the disease and you have a normal wife or husband with the AA type, any child born to you will be a carrier or a trait. Are you with me?
I am with you.
So
yes.
that means one has the disease and one is free of disease. Your child will come up as being a carrier.
Yeah. You also touched on compatibility. So when as we are growing, young adults, you find someone and you want to, have a relationship with, or maybe have family planning, you want to have a child with that partner that you found. What advice would you give to those people? What do you do to find out that you are actually compatible and that you are not going to give birth to a sickle cell child?
Right. Sickle cell, like I said to you, runs in families. When you find a partner, I always advise them, have a good conversation. Dig deep into the background, the history, the family. And then that there is sickle running in the family. It doesn't stop you from marrying anybody. Love can override your mind and your wisdom. However, when you find somebody you love or somebody you want to be with, and you don't know the compatibility, find a way to the clinic. Have the test. The test will reveal it to you. Because some people even are carriers and or have the condition and they are not aware that they have it. Are you with me?
I am.
So
with
they
you.
need to come and ascertain from the blood test they are going to have to know what they have. If you do the blood test and you find out that you have the disease, you'll have to advise yourself. If you find out that you are a carrier or you have the trait, you have to advise yourself.
Advise yourself.
Why I'm saying that is, what if you have the disease and your partner also is a carrier? The likelihood of you having a diseased baby or a child born with the condition is very high. However, if you are just AA and the partner has the disease or is a carrier, you're fine. Because any child born to you will just be a carrier and it's no problem. Now, what you worry down the line is your children and children's children. Because if they don't know their genotype and they also have to go and marry and they do not have the test, and assuming the other person is also a carrier, then the child is going to be born with a condition. And that is what we are trying to avoid in the community by educating people and making people aware of where to go to have the test, what they should expect, and how they should carry themselves.
Awesome. This is really good. Thank you so much. So once the disease is being diagnosed, what are some of the processes for treatment? Is there a cure for sickle cell disease?
Right. Now, let me go back a little bit. Like I said, sickle cell is a condition which you get from the beginning. And it's from birth. Are you with me?
I am.
It is not inherited anyway. You have been born with it.
You have been born with it.
Yes. And it's not contagious. You are born with it. Now, when you are born with sickle cell disease, it's only by treatment and self-maintenance that is important. You have to look at your nutrition, your medication, clinic appointments, because you have to be followed up in clinics. We have modifying therapies to help. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like we have the painkillers, we have the strong opiates that you will get in hospital when you have pain. These are the managing strategies for you.
Yeah.
You are forever not going to be free of pain because this sickle pain comes on unpredictably. You can be walking, doing everything normal, and your pain comes.
So is that what they call it, the crisis?
That is the crisis. So you can have crisis anytime, any day. It can last a day, 2, it can last months. The treatment we have for sickle cell, we have the stem cell transplant, stem cell and bone marrow transplant.
Bone marrow, yes.
Yes, we do not recommend them too much because of the risks involved. Are you with me?
I am.
It can be successful and unsuccessful. And it's a very careful treatment. It is usually done when you're very young, young, not old. When you turn adult, it's very difficult. They will not put you through that because you have come out with complications already.
Yeah.
Your systems are going down gradually. So they will not touch you. But they will rather touch the younger ones who are now developing and have not got complications. It can be done, but the risk is very high. And you have to have a donor from a sister or a brother, no other persons. So you have to have a brother, not even half brother. It has to be a full sister or blood-born brother. Are you with me?
I am with you.
So that is the treatment for that. But you forever have to be followed up in clinic with your painkillers. You have to have enough fluid. You're supposed to have about 3 liters of water a day just to ensure your blood is flowing very well.
Okay.
If you become dehydrated, you end up with crisis. Because what is happening is your blood is losing the oxygen. It's losing the plasma around everything, and you end up sickling. So the main treatment for sickle cell patients is on individuals. You have to know your triggers. Triggers, when I say triggers, sickle cell patients cannot be too cold or too hot.
Yeah.
They cannot have alcohol because what happens? The alcohol dehydrates them.
Okay.
Smoking is not good for them.
All right.
Eating well is very good, but you have to eat nutritionally.
Yeah.
Not always with convenience food. You have to just make sure you're eating your greens to make you very healthy. You cannot, leave yourself without looking after yourself well. You have to be up with it. These triggers, if you don't treat them or look after them, can turn into something serious.
Thank you. Thank you.
Has to be very mindful when you are a sickle carrier.
When you are a sickle carrier, you have to be very, very mindful, especially
Very
with
mindful.
healthy eating and hydrating.
Healthy eating.
Yeah.
Yes. And wearing warm clothes, not staying out for too long, not smoking, not touching anything. You just have to maintain yourself in a way that you can live very long. We have another medication, which is the hydroxyurea, which most patients are on it at the moment because it helps. It gives them the fetal hemoglobin they need because every child born is born with a fetal hemoglobin. But by 6 months, that fetal hemoglobin is diminishing. And when it diminishes, it's diminishing because when you were attached in the womb, you were with your mother. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And then your fetal hemoglobin is still there. You will be born with it, but you lose it at a certain time. Sickle patients always lose it. And that is when they start having the signs and symptoms of sickle because they have been born with the condition.
Okay. On that note, what I want to do is to announce the phone lines so that if someone wants to make a comment or join us, please, if your link goes, come in again.
Okay.
The phone lines are now open. The mobile number is 0778-793-9958. You can bring in your comments. And the landline is the office line is 023-73-58820 or 023-2860-185. Bring in your comments. As we wait for your comment, I want my guest to continue with what she was telling us. So
now, go on, madam.
Yes, so I was going to say you said something that if you take good care of yourself, you can live long. Do they really live long? How long can a sickle cell patient live for, if you know?
As long as possible.
As long as
the
possible.
last patient I had in my care with sickle cell disease just passed on at age 89.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, I'm telling you. Gone were the days when they used to say you will not even live up to 21. But now with the medication or modifying therapies that we have in the system, people are living very long. And you have to take care of your own health.
Yes.
You will live very long. If you avoid the things that are addressed to you as a sickle patient and you adhere to them, you will live very long. Beautiful. They come up with so many complications. Some can have cerebrovascular disease from childhood, priapism, avascular necrosis of the hip, the knee, and everything. You can have anything. Liver disease, kidney disease, lung disease, eye complications, hearing impairment, leg ulcers, and so on and so forth. But when you follow up with your clinic appointments, all these things will be monitored. And once they're being monitored, you are going to be referred to the appropriate agencies or the clinics to be followed up. So you do not end up on your own. The people who end up on their own they do not attend clinics. They do not talk to their GPs. They do not make themselves known to the Sickle Society.
Yes.
Because if you know where to go, they'll point you to the right direction. And you'll be cared for.
So if you know, how many people are affected with the disease? Is it really common?
It is very common amongst our Black heritage. Black Americans, we Black Africans, and the Caribbeans.
Why is that?
It's due to intermarriages.
Okay.
And people not being aware of the condition they have. Mixed marriages. You don't know, because when you don't know, you don't know. Many years ago, there was nothing like being checked. But I think from 1986, children born in this country especially are being tested from birth. They do the heel prick and they can tell you straight away if you are inherited. You have you are inherited with sickle cell disease. When people are pregnant in this country, they give them all the screening they can think of.
Yes.
Newborn screening. So they are aware of what they are going to have. Failing that, when you are pregnant, you realize you're pregnant and you have fallen into this catch, you can be speaking to the midwives. They can do a prenatal diagnosis for you from the beginning to tell you whether your child has the disease or do not. People usually don't go for that because that comes with a little bit of miscarriage, 1% miscarriage.
I see.
This procedure is done by taking some of the amniotic fluid from the fetus.
That's
to
right.
test. It can cause, it can cause miscarriages. So when they realize they are in that condition, it's a very serious thinking they do, whether to have a termination or carry on with the pregnancy. And if you decide to carry on with the pregnancies, it's not a problem. The care is there. But you have to realize that you are going to live with a child with a condition for the rest of your life.
And the child's life as well.
Sorry?
And that for the rest of your life and the child's life, you both are going to be in the condition. You know the child has the condition. Yeah. So going through all these pains.
It is not advisable because, tell you the truth, you will be in hospital regularly with a child. You have to consider your marriage. You have to consider your finances. Over here, it's not too bad, but it takes a lot out of you with the clinic, hospital appointments and everything. And if you cannot cope with it, you end up with depression.
Yeah.
You end up losing your husband or your wife or whatever, because people become fed up along the line.
Yeah.
So we advise people, know your genotype.
Know your
before
genotype.
You go.
Yeah.
Know your genotype.
Yeah.
Don't let the love override your wisdom. If you decide you want to be with a person with a condition, and the after effects, you are able to cope with it, then that's fine. If you know it is not going to end you well, please do not do it, because it is a serious condition. You have to be on top of it.
Thank you so much.
The young people, even the adults, also let me talk about a little bit about the male organs. They end up having priapism. This is the erectile function of the penis.
Yes, that is priapism.
Priapism, yes. And it's very difficult.
Oh, so it's to do with children who has sickle cell, the male ones.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Priapism is really painful. It's very, very painful because you have to realize the oxygen is not flowing there. It's not flowing. So that is another issue. So they have to look at that one too.
So if you have that priapism, I think she's gone. She will come back. So please do bring your comments. Let me do my LPM, and as she returns, we will continue. So, feelings of anxiety and depression can affect us all, and you are not alone. NHS mental health services are available to help. NHS mental health services are a free, effective, and confidential way to treat common mental health disease or issues. Seeking help through a talking therapy can be one of the best steps a person can take to overcome their mental health issues and get back on track. Help can be offered in a number of ways, including in person, by video consultation, over the phone, or as an online course. For those whose first language is not English, talking therapies can be delivered through multilingual therapies or through confidential translators and in British Sign Language. If you need help with your mental health, you can refer yourself without a referral from a GP, or your GP can also refer you. Go to nhs.co.uk/help if you feel like you have any mental health issues. Even if you don't have it and you want to check, go ahead and do that. So this is also for cervical screening. Did you know that 2 women die every day of cervical cancer in England? Yet it is one of the most preventable cancers. And cervical screening can help stop cancer before it starts. Screening only lasts a few minutes, and depending on your age, you only have to go every 3 or 5 years. If you want to make sure a female nurse carries out your screening, ask for this when you make your appointment. Don't ignore your invite letter. If you miss your last cervical screening, book an appointment with your GP. Practice now. Do encourage those you love to get their screening done as well. Cervical screening saves lives. To find out more, visit nhs.uk/cervical screening. Are you a problem solver or a good listener? Do you play in defense or take the lead? Are you a multitasker or a people person? Everyone has that one thing that they were born to do. Find yours with a career in the RAF now. In the Royal Air Force, you will gain confidence, belief, and resilience as you achieve things you never thought were possible. Learn new skills, work with cutting-edge technology, and travel the world. Form unique bonds with new lifelong friends who share your ambition. You are given the chance to pursue your personal passions as part of your career. In the RAF, you have the space to be yourself and have plenty of time to see friends, family, and live your own life. There is no ordinary job in the RAF. Find your first now by searching RAF recruitment. Thank you so much for staying with us. My guest is on, and I have a question for you from my listeners. First of all, I want to say thank you to all my Facebook family and YouTube family members. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Saraya Israel says good morning. Good morning
Good
to
morning.
you. And Vic has given us thumbs up. Vic says, Kulo, Kalo. That's what we say in Ghana, Kalo. Well done to you. And this one is saying, Nanaya is from Holland, and she says that, good morning, Queen G and Mrs. Patricia Brown. Thank you so much for educating us this morning. I have a friend who has sickle cell disease. What can I do to help my friend to live healthily?
Okay, that's a very good question. This your friend with a sickle cell disease, has she registered with a GP that she has sickle cell? If she has not, she has to register with a GP and let the GP refer her to any sickle center around where they live. There are sickle centers around where you have all the consultants in this world who look after the sickle patients. That's one. That is the first thing you have to do, because your friend has to be on the folic acid and the penicillin daily for life. Are you with me?
Yeah.
She has to eat very well. She has to make sure she's keeping warm. They don't need to do strenuous work. You have to remember, because it's another trigger for their sickle. So make sure she's not doing anything excessive that is going to trigger her to have crisis. Make sure she's attending her clinics. She's taking her medications like painkillers and whatever they put her on. She has to attending clinics to be followed up in clinics. That's what she needs to do. If she has any further questions, she can throw it to anyone who is working with sickle, and her questions will be answered. But she needs to be assigned to a clinic and a nurse.
Awesome. This one is also saying that, can the sickle cell patient do exercises, go to the gym as everyone does?
Let me be very frank with you. They can do exercises, but very minimal. Reason being, you're going to trigger your crisis by exerting too much energy. Your arms and your back, the pain do affect them seriously. So we advise that minimal exercise, nothing strenuous. Because anything you do which is more than what your body can take will trigger a crisis. So we advise exercise, but minimal.
All right.
But not like any other person. They have to remember they are not like all other persons. They are limited in doing what they have to do. Because one, they'll get tired easily. They fatigue easily. And then they'll end up having crisis. Too much exercises, you are losing oxygen. And once you lose oxygen, it will trigger your crisis. Are you with me?
I am, yeah.
Breathlessness is what causes it, but you are losing the oxygen. So they can do as minimal as possible.
Yeah, thank you. And Grace from Streatham says that, how can I register? Do I have to go to my GP to register, or I can just walk in and then do my test?
Yes, we have centers for tests anywhere in this country, but only particular places do the test. If you can travel anywhere to come to Central Middlesex Hospital in Park Royal, that it can be done anytime. Just walk with your NHS number. The number is 0208 453 2050. And it will be done for you free of charge. We don't charge any money. And possibly, even if you decide to come and you come and ask for Patricia, they'll call me and I'll come and see you and then do the test for you. That's no problem at all. So the more people we have, the better. You are not being charged. So don't shy away from that. Just come. We'll talk you through again before we do the test, so you understand it better. So in case you go and you even find a partner with a condition and you still want to go ahead with the relationship, you know how to handle yourself.
Awesome. Thank you. This one is Ava from Birmingham, says that, thank you, Queen G and Mrs. Patricia Brown, for this knowledge. I have a friend with sickle cell who goes for regular checkups, but I now have a more deeper and medical understanding of this disease. I want to read the other questions, the text, so that we round up quickly. And this also is saying, Leah Hackney says, is it common for someone to have sickle cell disease all their life without knowing they are a carrier? And I want to read everything, so you answer. Sorry about that. And this one is also Rayan from Manchester said, are there different levels of sickle cell diseases for someone to have mild sickle cell disease versus severe sickle cell disease. And Sharon from Will says, wow, this was very interesting to hear about the sickle cell treatment, and the part about the donor has to be a direct sibling and not half. So if you have a half sister or brother, can they be donors as well?
No. Let's take it one by one. If you have to do the stem cell or the bone marrow transplant. Like I said, it has to be from your own blood-born sister or brother. That works better. No other bloods will work for you, and they will advise it will not work. So they will not even go ahead with the treatment.
Yeah.
You have to be just a carrier. Carrier is a carrier. It doesn't come with anything.
Okay.
You have nothing to worry about. You only have to worry when you have the disease. When you have the disease is when you worry. We haven't got anything like mild sickle cell or severe we only have one sickle cell, and it's a severe sickle cell, and that's it. Because it will continue to develop. It has developed already, but your complications will add up. Because when you are growing, everything is just going down in the system. You can end up with diabetes. You can end up with a kidney problem, a liver problem. Because remember, you are taking a lot of medications. So the tendency of having complications in the system is very high. Yeah. Are you with me? So, but you need to take them to maintain the body, because you cannot live in pain every time. You have to remember, any sickle patient can just live a normal life depending on how you look after yourself. I still have a 66-year-old lady still working. She has serious sickle cell. She's managing herself very well. Very well. So she gets a crisis, she goes to the hospital, she comes back. The crisis is when they cannot manage it anymore at home, and they need to go to the hospital for further treatment, like to have the opiates, which could be morphine, oxycodone, IV fluid, and then they feel better.
Thank you.
They feel better.
Yeah. Christina Nama says that very educative program. Thank you very much, Christina, for joining us on Facebook. Our time is up. We will call you again, definitely. So your final words in 30 seconds.
My final word is anyone having sickle disease is a normal person. Do not underrate yourself. You can do anything anybody is doing. Yeah. Don't feel away. Don't feel shy. You always have to be in touch with us, and we will guide you. You can continue taking your folic acid and penicillin regularly. Do not be in denial. You have to live with the fact that you have the condition, and you have to look after yourself, and you have to communicate. When we have awareness days, you have to attend to learn more. We do the awareness days in the schools, in the universities, in the open places around shopping centers. When you hear them, just go listen, pick new information from people, and then you carry on with your life. But do not feel left out, because you will be followed up in clinic every time, and you live a good life till whenever.
Amen. Therefore, thank you.
Yes. Therefore, always remember, we are in Central Middlesex Hospital, where you can have your bloods done for you. Results will come between 5 to 7 days. Just walk in or call 0208 453 2050 and come walk with your NHS number, and the test will be done for you freely. And then we'll tell you the results, and you know where to go. Okay?
Thank you. We shall meet again very, very soon. I love you for coming. Yes. God bless you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
always, you know it. I love you. So you too.
Thank you. I love you too.
I love me and don't leave me. On that note, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Assassino, a boy pada sing, my friend Adam. I got them got to trick casino, not catch any day. Remember them.